Attention, housewives of America.
And when we say housewives, we mean all kinds of housewives of America.
We mean ranch-type housewives,
Old colonial housewives,
salt box housewives,
apartment housewives,
trailer housewives,
and bungalow housewives.
We're starting right out today with a startling announcement.
We have a sale of bungalow aprons, adapted to every type of house.
For the bungalow, the regular bungalow apron, neat and tidy and made to go through bungalow house doors sideways.
Now for the trailer housewife, a trailer-type bungalow apron. Short, skimpy, tight under the arms, clings to the knees, and made to squeeze into that tiny kitchenette.
For the apartment housewife, aprons for 2.5 rooms up to 6 rooms.
For ranch-type housewives, a gaudy dance hall apron with convenient pockets for 2 6-shooters.
And for old colonial housewives who live in big rooms with 12-foot ceilings, 10-foot windows, and wide sweeping staircases, great big frilly aprons with ruffles, pom-poms, and a huge swish as you walk across the highly waxed floors.
Yes, housewives, you can find everything on The Bob and Ray Show.
Friends, usually Mr. Ferris Gallagher, proprietor of Gallagher's Supermarket, makes only one broadcast a week on this program. He made his regular announcement just yesterday in which he requested that husbands do not wheel their wives around in the market wagons. However, something happened last night which has caused him to buy time to make another announcement today, and I wonder if you'd explain, Mr. Gallagher, please.
Last night, right after I had made that announcement, I'm standing at my observation post near the checking out station where I can watch people put canned pears and stuff in their pockets. And this here guy comes down the aisle with a dame sitting in the basket and dragging another basket for a trailer to put his groceries in.
Well, what did you do, Mr. Gallagher?
Well, I ain't going to mention no names, but I went right up to him and I said, "Look-a here, Colin McCree."
All right, now, please, your customers are listening in. They'll think you have a temper, you know.
I said, "Mr. McCree, did you hear what I said on the radio yesterday about wheeling your wives around in my shopping baskets?" And he said, "Yes, but this ain't my wife, it's my mother-in-law."
Did his mother-in-law have sore feet?
His mother-in-law had been to a party held by the 18th Ward Social Club and felt in no condition to walk around the store.
What was this about his mother-in-law and an American flag?
Well, Mr. McCree stated that his mother-in-law was waving a small American flag over her head, which I did not notice.
Anything else?
She was also wearing a World War I trench helmet and a silly smile.
Well, to sum it up, Mr. Gallagher, what do you have to say?
Colin McCree and other smart-aleck customers. First, I don't care if it is your wife or your mother-in-law you are wheeling around. Second, under such circumstances, the American flag is no protection. Third, Mrs. Horgan weighs 150 pounds and your mother-in-law weighs 182. That's why the left front wheel of that market wagon had to be sent to the repair shop. 2 wagons out of commission. Fourth, you could have propped her up near the entrance and picked her up as you checked out. And fifth, you never buy more than $1's worth anyway. Everybody, keep all your relatives out of my market wagons. Tomorrow's special, cat salmon, 12 cents a can.
Now, this announcement we're about to make comes to you from the Bob and Ray Overstocked Surplus Warehouse.
Might be wise to get a pencil and paper and be prepared to make a note of our address and telephone number after Paul Taubman of the Radio City Music Hall staff plays a brief musical interlude.
Mr. Taubman has been with the Music Hall for 18 years. He pushes the buttons which raise and lower the orchestra pit.
Maybe we could have a word or two with Paul before he plays this brief musical interlude.
Jolly good idea.
Thank you.
Paul, it's good to have you with us.
Oh, you see this finger?
Yeah.
Well, that's the finger I push the buttons with.
That's so.
You see the callus on it?
Yeah.
Well, it's an occupational hazard, but I'm covered by insurance, though.
Good. How many Rockettes do they have over there at the Music Hall now, Paul?
Well, I never counted them. I just keep my eyes on the buttons.
Well, very commendable, I should say that.
What?
It's very commendable.
Well, I keep my eyes right on the buttons.
Well, thanks. Now, if we could have that musical interlude, we'll tell you about our offer.
One is marked up and one is marked down.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
In case you should get mixed up, the up button is green and the down button is red.
Fine. Excellent.
No cinch, believe me.
All right, can we have the interlude now, please?
Okay. Play anything?
Yeah, anything.
Well, that gives me a lot of leeway. Well, here goes. I'll start with a standard glissando and then into whatever comes into my head.
Look here, ladies. We guessed wrong on 1952 calendars, and that's your good fortune.
Are we going to let these 1952 calendars go for a ridiculous price?
When you see the price, you'll say...
That's ridiculous.
These 1952 calendars are brand new. All you have to do is change the days here and there to match the 1953 calendars.
Well, to be very frank with you, we had a lot of labels printed up saying 1953, which we pasted over the 1952, but people kept bringing them back, so we decided to follow the regular policy of never kid the customer.
Well, they'd call up and say, this calendar doesn't work. I'm going to bring it back Thursday.
And then they'd bring back on Wednesday.
So, if you want a nice, clean 1952 calendar with large, clear figures and a picture of 3 cute little boys watching a girl taking a bath in a mountain pool, just drop in at our surplus overstocked warehouse.
Just wink at the man and say, have you got one of them?
He'll know what you mean.
Remember, just change the days to make them like 1953.
The cover will be good for years to come.
If you can't get over to the warehouse, write to outdated NBC, New York 20, New York.
A plain wrapper will be sent to you inside the calendar.
Well, here's Mary Magoon.
Well, good morning, Bob, and good morning, Ray.
Good morning. We missed you yesterday.
Yes. Yesterday I did something I've promised myself I'd do ever since I came to New York.
Oh, so what was that?
I went shopping up and down the length of Fifth Avenue.
Shopping? The length of Fifth Avenue?
Yes, aren't I the one?
Well, tell us about it, will you?
Well, I started off at Bergdorf Goodman at 59th Street.
Yeah, it's a nice store. They tell me it's quite expensive.
I didn't care. A little pair of high-heel crisscross pumps, all crisscross and no shoe, caught my eye. And then I went on downtown.
You're heading south, huh?
Yes, then I passed a silver store full of silver. And there was just what I've always wanted, a silver teapot that tips.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I kept on going.
Well, you must have seen all the sights along Fifth Avenue.
Oh, yes. The women in their mink coats and their let-out sable-dyed muskrats. And the men in their Hamburg hats.
Hamburg
Yes. Well, I've never seen so many in my life. And do you know what?
No, what?
When I went past the University Club, one of the men sitting in the window winked at me.
He did, huh?
Well, he had a handkerchief in his hand. Maybe he was taking something out of his eye, but it looked like a wink.
Uh-huh.
Then I went past Saks Fifth Avenue, and they had the loveliest dress just made for me. Black and just off the shoulder enough so it wouldn't show my freckles.
Was the Buffon type?
Then I kept going to Lord & Taylor. Past the Empire State Building, store after store, a hat here, a scarf there, till I reached Washington Square.
You mean you walked all the way from 59th Street down to 8th Street?
Oh, yes.
Well, your arms must have been loaded down by the time you got there.
Oh, no. You see, I just window shopping, Bob. I didn't buy anything.
Have presented Bob and Ray, who will appear at this same time tomorrow.
The program today came to you from the annual Ladies' Aid Rummage Sale in the basement of City Hall, the door marked Sewer Department.
We still have some rummage left to sell, and you'll be doing your community a great favor if you'll drop in and buy some rummage.
All profits, which so far amount to $6.63, go to the Sewer Department to help keep our sewers in good condition.
We want to make this an even $7, so won't you drop in and help?
Had some excellent rummage this year. 2 left tennis shoes of the same color. Any shoestrings will fit them.
We had a Spanish-American war cartridge belt, which will look swanky, hung over the fireplace in the rumpus room.
All bargains like that. So drop into the Sewer Department at your first opportunity today.
We'll be waiting for you behind the pile of balsam pillows.
Till tomorrow, this is Bob Elliott.
Ray Goulding reminding you to write if you get work.
And hang by your thumb.
Oh, you silly, silly boys.
Bye, Grover.